This is a work of fiction, unless otherwise indicated. All the names, characters, places, events, and incidents in this book are either the product of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental. It was night time, and Vanessa Young went to go check on her children and nephews. As she checked on her daughter Sarah, she found her resting with Kenny's little brother James in her bed. She then checked on her 15-year-old son Trey and saw him penetrating her 8-year-old nephew Kenny. She could hear Trey whisper, "Kenny, don't make the snake mad." Her nephew cried and looked at her as Kenny reached towards the doorway for her help. She watched them and enjoyed seeing the pain and slowly walked backwards out of the room. She closed the door, took a deep breath, went to her room, prayed, and went to bed. The next morning, Aunt V called Kenny to the kitchen. "Your mother is coming soon, and I wanted to ask you if there is anything I should know about last night." Kenny looked confused and scared. "Van said you can tell me anything, you're safe." He looked at her with terrors in his eyes. He cried, "Yes, ma'am, Trey worded me," before he could continue. She cut him off and turned from protector to prosecutor and yelled, "Kenny, listen, Trey didn't word you." Kenny stood in silence. Vanessa looked at the 8-year-old boy and said, "You are a liar. My son would never do that to you, If you continue making up these lies, I'll kill you, and no one will miss you. You are a child." Kenny cried as he felt helpless. "Van said I am an educator. I can make you disappear and search for your body with your mother and father, and no one would suspect a thing." As Kenny became older, Trey touching and wording him became routine. It became common for Sarah and Van to walk in on Trey abusing Kenny, and Van had made Kenny the liar of their family. As an adult, Kenny didn't really remember his childhood like some kids could. He could only remember moments that really impacted him. He guessed it was selective amnesia, blocking out all the trauma from the physical abuse of his father from early childhood to the sexual abuse from his older cousin Trey. Kenny had a hard life, but maintained acting like a happy child, feeling as though no matter what he did, he would never make it out of his life with happiness in his heart. As Kenny became older and went to therapy, he discovered memories of abuse from Trey starting when he was 4. Trey always a P word and wanted Kenny less as he became older. The memories brought back so many emotions. The emotions came crushing down on Kenny because as an adult he began to realize his old childhood had been taken away from him, stolen. He had a victim's mentality from childhood, and he had to process creating new boundaries to heal, to forgive,